Based on the real events in April of 2019, Notre-Dame on Fire is directed by Jean-Jacques Annaud, if I've got that correct, and I just checked it out at my local cinema tonight, but the movie ultimately has left me really frustrated. So stick around and find out why that's the case. So hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you're brand new, I invite you just to press the red subscribe button so I can see you again on a future video. But if you're coming back, thank you once again for tuning into this review. So I am actually going to start with something different, and I'm actually going to start with the negatives for this review. However, before I go into that, I just want to say that I ultimately do respect the actual real events of the Notre-Dame fire, which was a catastrophe, being honest with you. And I also respect that the director had a vision for this movie, and also my respects go out to the firemen and firewomen who were there on that day. So with that in mind, I'm just going to go straight into my negatives of this specific movie. So the movie style itself, with the cinematography and the directing style, is kind of more done as a movie slash documentary. I think this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that Jean-Jacques Annaud did, because the thing is, when you see a movie like this that is a recreation of like a real life event, you normally get like the movie aspect first, and then right at the end, before the kind of credits roll, you'll then get like the real footage of what happened on that day or that time, whatever the case should be, and it might say about, oh, this many lives were lost or this many lives were saved, etc. That is scrapped. That's not in this movie whatsoever. Instead, I know that they use different cathedrals for a recreation of this movie, and that is a brilliant idea, of course, because the Notre Dame was under construction when they were filming this, so it makes complete sense. The issue is, for me, however, is they have these modern cameras, of course, to shoot in 4K, IMAX, whatever the case should be, and it's shot beautifully when those scenes are done. The issue I have, firstly, though, is they use a lot of documentary older style footage mixed in. So for example, we get a recreated scene of the fire happening, of course, and then all of a sudden we get footage clip from 2019 and the image just doesn't line up. It's blurry. We also get a lot of these shots reused quite a few times throughout the movie, but the recreation is done so well of the fire. I feel like the older footage really hinders that cinematography, and for me it also kind of really took me out of this movie, which is another frustration. Because of that happened so many times, I was taken out of those key vital moments when the fire is happening, and of course our firefighters are taking action as they should be and trying to put out this fire. I should have really been soaked in the atmosphere, but I really wasn't, and I just felt like, although Simon Franklin does a great job on the music and the score for this movie, which is beautifully done, by the way, and he's worked on some big films, so the music is definitely a positive. The issue is, though, I wasn't soaked up in this atmosphere at all, and that is the biggest issue, because you're supposed to really like feel for these firefighters. You're really supposed to feel like you're there in the moment in all this chaos that is going on. I didn't feel like that whatsoever. I feel like the cinematography directing style was awful when that happened, and the acting, it was okay, it was fine, but there was some moments that was really cheesy, and especially one moment where there's the part where they're trying to rescue the Crown of Thrones, for example, and there's a point where they think they've got it and they're cheering, and as soon as that cheering happened, I burst out laughing, and I know I probably shouldn't have. I don't know what it was just the way it was acted. It was just terribly done. But yeah, the issue is, for me though, is this movie documentary style. It was just cut so much. It was just done far too often. So many times we would get so many split screens as well. I was thinking, what the hell is truly going on here? And when we're supposed to care about our core characters, whether it's the firefighters or whether it is our general manager of the cathedral or whoever the case should be, he probably had the best arc for sure. But the characters, the focus on them for like a tiny bit, go on to something else, tiny bit, is so chopped badly edited in terms of like just the chopping from scene to scene to scene to scene. And there's also a little side story about a cat being stuck on the roof, and I was like, oh well, I hope this cat's okay during all this Notre Dame fire. I don't know what relevance that's really got to do with the Notre Dame itself, but by the end of the movie bit of a spoiler, we don't even know if the cat's okay. I'm assuming it is, but we don't even know. So I just felt like there was so many loose connections and threads that wasn't tied up by the end of it, and it really left me frustrated, because some of that definitely leans into some of the positives that I picked out about the cinematography when it is shot in the modern day recreation. Those scenes are fantastically done, especially how it's shot with and around the firefighters. I want to see more of that. I wish the movie did that, and then at the end credits left the actual footage for the real event and what was captured on that tragic days. We don't get that. I do know that the director actually did reach out and set up a website for people to actually submit footage so they could use that as like traffic footage and stuff like that. I just generally think that was the wrong decision. So ultimately for me, Notre-Dame on Fire, I felt like it was a misfire, and that's no pun intended. I think that this catastrophic event could have been told in such a great way in terms of like history for a lot of people, even including myself, and a movie that could have been so memorable, but it just misses the mark. So my overall score for Notre-Dame on Fire is a 5 out of 10. So have you seen this movie? Are you going to go check it out? Please leave any and all comments down below. Also give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.